So today we will study the next part of this bioinformatics, that is Introduction to Data Structures and RDBMS in biology. It's there in your syllabus. So what are the RDBMS? It is actually relational databases. So data structure and relational databases, they are forming now the backbone of modern biological research. So what do? They help scientists organize vast amount of biological information efficiently. So there is lots of biological information present everywhere. So if it's in a random state, it is very difficult. So all softwares, they use these data structure. They have to structure that data and they have to make relational databases. In biology, you know that things are related. For example, height of a person and what that person eats, or what is his genetic composition, they are all related. That is because of that the height is high. So this is, you are making a relation. One is that person individual, then that person's particular diet, that person's genetics. So you have different columns, different factors which are sort of controlling your that person's height. So you always have a relational. So this is known as relational database. So go to the second slide, what is data structure? So by definition, the data structure, it is a systematic way to organize data for efficient access and modification. So systematically you are organizing your data so that you can easily get that data whenever you want. You don't have to search thousands of files. You just get it by searching, or immediately it comes in front of you as a highlight. And say for example there is a bit of a change in that person's height or anything, parameters, you need to change that, so you can modify that easily. So purpose is for data retrieval, faster data retrieval and more efficient storage. For example, take an example is, it's a table storing bird species with columns for scientific name. There is a column for wingspan, column for habitat and for migration patterns, when it migrates. So you need to organize. So whenever you get this bird, you can relate to all these particular parameters: wingspan, habitat, migration pattern, scientific name. You can all get all these informations. Huh? Everything is actually, you have a data is structured. Any data, it is structured. They are using either SQL database, or they are using Oracle. So by this all, even BLAST or NCBI or everything is everything is actually organized by this manner. Go to the next one. What is a relational database? So it is a database that stores related information in tables with rows and columns. So row में ये है तो column में ये है. Row bird, column this of the bird. Like I tell. So data elements connect through defined relationships. So there is a relationship between all the rows and columns. So example, table linking plant species to their observed habitats and ecological role. So one column maybe or one row, you have table. One column is the table, which is the name of the plant species, and in the row, you have their, what is their habitat and what is their ecological roles. You can make this particular column. Anything. This is just to give words. The next is full form of RDBMS. It means Relational Database Management Systems. So it is a software to create, update and administer relational database. So biological example is managing fish population data across multiple lakes and multiple seasons. So the key function is storage of data, security of data, backup of data, and query processing. Whenever you ask for something, your query, it is processed and you get the results.
একটা পার্টিকুলার স্পিসিসে
সব কিছু, হ্যাঁ সব কিছু, শুধু স্পিসিস না, ওটা অন্য কিছু হতে পারে বায়োলজিক্যাল, মানে it does not need to be biology, it can be any other field, economics also. So basically you are keeping things in a relation to each other.
MySQL যে সফটওয়্যারটা ছোট মতো না, যেখানে যে কোনো মানে পুরো নিয়ম লেখা থাকে, তার সমস্ত ডেটা,
হ্যাঁ সব. So structure of relational databases. So it must have tables. Each table represents one entity type. For example, bacteria sample, sample 1, sample 2, sample 3. Okay, then you have rows. Each row is one record or instance. For example, it may be an individual bacteria sample. It can have columns also. Each column holds specific attribute. So bacteria type, growth medium, say doubling time, whatever be about that bacteria, you can have it all in a relationship. So basically you are making a table. So you can do it in Excel, but when you have 10,000, 12,000, watching an Excel is very difficult to get the data from that Excel. So keep on scrolling, searching. It is not that easy. Maybe this is related to somewhere in some other table. It's very difficult to keep on navigating. So you need it to be in a structured manner that in one glance for that particular thing it is very clear. So next is how how tables they relate with each other. So you have primary keys. So for example, they are unique identifier in each table. For example, gene ID or accession number. This particular accession number, it is organized. You have made a table. So that accession number will bring out all that information about that gene. So in a table you have the accession number of that particular gene. Then you have relationships. That particular accession number has got relationship to several values. So the primary key is the gene ID. Okay, and the relationship is that this table, it connects through shared key values. So several genes have this particular feature. There is another table somewhere. These are all transcription factors. That is one shared features. So all the different transcription factors have different gene IDs, but they have got one shared, which is a transcription factor. Maybe. Example, gene table links to protein expression data during gene ID. So this is the gene ID, it is linked to the protein expression, how much it is expressed. In another table it is there. So now we go to what is SQL. So you will find lots of courses there in Udemy, or we pay lots of money to learn SQL. That means structured query language. So this is a standard language for managing relational databases. So to make such a database, you need to have a language by which you can the computer will bring it out from the computer or from the internet. You will get your particular data. So there is a relational database where several data are linked to each other, related to each other. They are related by one particular point, and so it's got there is a standard language. So through this you can actually create, read, update and delete data. So in that particular database, for example, you can create new data, you can delete new data, you can update it, you can delete data. For example, your student attendance, it is an SQL. You see your attendance in our college, we have that attendance. New people may not have it, but in the graduate level they have it. So every day there, I open that database made from SQL and I put the today's attendance. So it is updated. Then suddenly something error is there. So I go to the administrator, he has the access, he can delete that data. Then you can put it, correct and put it again. So many 7,289 students, it's very difficult to say which student has come on which day. So through this database, you can immediately get what is the status of that student. That is done through Oracle SQL. It depends. I don't know whether they have used Oracle, but essentially they serve the same purpose. Language is different, but the purpose is same. Search korlei chole ashbe. So biology is, like you said, red data book. Query endangered mammal population counts by region. It's there in the red data book. The red data book, for example, this is the example of red data book, for example. Next ate jao. So the key SQL operations which you use, there is a language. First is select. You have to select. Then you have to insert. Then there is update or delete. So in the select, it retrieves data from tables. So you select among all of them. Example, find all frog observations in wetland habitats. যে দেখেছে frog observe করেছে যে আমি এতগুলো frog দেখেছি. Insert. It adds new records. For example, add new frog species sighting within a particular location. Update. It modifies existing data. Update frog count after new field observations. নতুন করে দেখে you find that it is something else. And delete. You remove records. Remove duplicates. You remove them. So go to the next one. So examples of RDMDS is Oracle and SQL, like you have seen. So you have Oracle database, for example, enterprise level RDMS with advanced security features. For example, global virus strain database management, you have it for COVID. You have Microsoft SQL Server. It is Windows based and it is integrated with Microsoft products with Excel. For example, you can use it for tracking species migration pattern. Then you have MySQL. It is an open source. MySQL is open source. It's popular. For example, managing botanical specimen collection. এই দুটো পয়সা দিয়ে করতে হয়। আমি মাইক্রোসফট এসকিউএলটা একটু শিখেছিলাম, তবে ভুলেও গেছি। So you have Oracle database overview. So what is it? The developer, it is created by Oracle Corporation. And features, it is very highly reliable. You can scale it small to large, you can make it, and it is very secure. And for example, managing genomic sequence libraries in NCBI, they use this Oracle. So Oracle, for example, if you are using Internet Edge Explorer, they use Microsoft SQL, but otherwise they use Oracle. So now next is defining a table. Syntax is the command which you have to give to query or to take out your data. So first, this is the SQL syntax. This particular command, like create table, insect specimen, then you have to give a bracket, specimen ID, int, you have to give the primary key. Primary key is the name, gene ID or species name, scientific name. So this is one thing. Then you have to collection date, location. You can give I want 200, the number 200. So this particular command creates a table for storing for example, storing insect specimen data. Each specimen has a unique ID, species name, collection details and collector name. সব কিছু পেয়ে যাবে। So now for primary keys, what is the definition I have told you? It's a unique identifier for each row. Characteristic, it must be unique and cannot be null. Zero ফাঁকা রাখা যাবে না। Biology example, for example, bird banding IDs as primary key in ornithological research. একটা কিছু নাম দিয়ে রাখতে হবে। Now you have foreign keys. Apart from primary keys, you have foreign keys. So definition is, it is a column that creates a relationship with another table's primary key. মানে যেটা বললাম, আরেকটা কলাম, এটা আরেকবার রিপিট করছি। হ্যাঁ, function, it prevents action that would destroy links between tables.
মানে স্যার এটা একটা কলামের সাথে অন্য কলামকে
লিংক করে দিচ্ছে। ওইটা যদি নষ্ট হয়ে যায় তাহলে এটার সঙ্গে ওটার কোনো রিলেশনশিপ থাকবে না, তুমি কিছুই আনতে পারবে না যদি গন্ডগোল হয়। जैसे no not ecological cycle. Ecological cycle is a different thing. Ecological cycle is a different thing. This is, you are talking about computer databases, rows and tables. So biological example is animal observation table containing habitat ID as a foreign key. হ্যাঁ, প্রাইমারি কিটা কি হলো, প্রাইমারি কি নেম অফ দ্যাট অ্যানিমেল, তার হ্যাবিট্যাট যেটা আইডিটা, যেটা ওটা গাছে থাকে কি তলায় থাকে কি কোথায় থাকে, দ্যাট ইজ আ ফরেন কি। মানে এগুলো হচ্ছে টার্মস ইউজড, মানে ভাবতে আমরা সবাই এটা না জেনেই আমরা করি, আরেকটা ফরেন কি হয়ে যাবে। Now is a difficult different thing is known as normalization. So there is a unnormalized form. You have all those data which is there are a lot of data, sound, background noises or background information which is present, which is a noise. You need to normalize it. That is, you have to balance everything. Normalization means what is that value with respect to one. For example, in a microarray data, gene expression data, you have the whole genome expression set. So you have small places where RNA is there attached in these small chips, and you have your probe which is labeled, fluorescently labeled probe. So what you do is you give this labeled probe and then you measure the gene expression. Now for example, the problem which comes over here if you don't normalize it is that you don't get exact values. You have a standard housekeeping gene like actin which is under all conditions and developmental conditions and stresses, they remain same. So you take that value as a reference and interpolate the other reading values according to this actin. তাহলে সব ডেটাগুলো আইদার কমে যাবে বা বেড়ে যাবে with respect to actin. Then that value which you get is a normalized value. So you have the first normal form which has got each cell containing a single value, no repeating groups. Second is remove partial dependencies, মানে একটু এটার সঙ্গে একটু সম্পর্ক আছে। হ্যাঁ, মানে যেরকম গাছে থাকে, পাখিটা গাছে থাকে, হ্যাঁ, এবার অনেককেই গাছে থাকে, গাছের ডালে থাকে তো গাছে, এটা ঠিক হচ্ছে না, গাছে থাকেই হচ্ছে, গাছের ডালে থাকে ওটাকে বাদ দিয়ে দিচ্ছে। তুমি চাইছো হয়তো গাছে থাকে, গাছের ডালে থাকে, গাছের পাতায় থাকে, গাছের পাতার এই সেলের মধ্যে থাকে, মানে ইটস গোইং টু কনফিউজ ইউ। ইউ নিড টু নর্মালাইজ, রিমুভ দোজ ডেটা ওয়ে। অনলি একটা যে গাছেতে হ্যাবিট্যাট ট্রি, দিস ইজ আ পার্শিয়াল ডিপেন্ডেন্সি। সো এরকম সেকেন্ড নর্মালাইজেশন হয়, থার্ড নর্মালও হয়, মানে রিমুভস ট্রানজিটিভ ডিপেন্ডেন্সিস। এক্সাম্পল হচ্ছে সেপারেটিং অর্গানিজম, জিন অ্যান্ড ফেনোটাইপ ডেটা ইন্টু ডিফারেন্ট টেবলস টু রিডিউস রিডান্ডেন্সি ইন রিসার্চ ডেটাবেস। রিডান্ডেন্সি মানে একই জিনিস বারবার আসছে, মানে একই, মানে গাছে থাকে 10খানা গাছে থাকে, তুমি আসছে একই জিনিসের জন্যে, একটাই হয়ে যাবে। বিভিন্ন লোক বিভিন্ন অবজারভেশন করেছে, গাছে থাকে, তোমাকে নর্মালাইজ করে গাছে থাকে করতে হবে। Now querying data, select. So you use this particular command, select species, count, comma, location. মানে এসকিউএল সার্ভারেতে এই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা এটা দিলে, সো দিস কোয়ারি ফর হিয়ার উইল রিট্রিভ অ্যাম্ফিবিয়ান ডেটা ফ্রম মাউন্টেন স্ট্রিমস কালেক্টেড ইন 2023. It shows species names, population counts and specific locations. Next is the insert statement. So you put this particular insert command and you will get, this command will add a new Elkhorn coral observations to the reef survey database. So new coral type of observations it will add করে দিচ্ছে ভেতরে। Then you have the update where it will identify, modify, save and then verify. এই চারটে স্টেপ হবে। Example, updating genetic marker information in mouse genome study after new sequencing results. ঠিক আছে, তারপরে সিমিলারলি ডিলিট, রিমুভিং আউটডেটেড প্লান্ট পপুলেশন কাউন্টস ফ্রম আর্লিয়ার সার্ভেস। নতুন জিনিস হচ্ছে, আউটডেট হয়ে গেছে, এবারে নতুন জিনিস ঢোকাচ্ছে। So next is the access control in RDBMS, relational database. You have an user authentication which verifies, identifies with username password combination, username password দরকার, authorization level, assign different permission to various user roles. যেরকম আমাদের কলেজের মধ্যে হ্যাঁ তোমাদের অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স দেওয়ার ক্ষমতা আমার আছে, কিন্তু ভুল করলে ওটাকে ডিলিট করে দেওয়ার ক্ষমতা নেই, ওটা কিন্তু সিস্টেম অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেটরের আছে, জয়প্রকাশের কাছে। হ্যাঁ, তো যদি বাই চান্স গন্ডগোল হয় জয়প্রকাশকে গিয়ে বলতে হবে, জয়প্রকাশ তখন বের করে দেবে ওটা। অথরাইজেশন আছে। Biological examples, lab assistants can only view sample data. Only lead biologists can edit the record. তোমরা দেখতে পাবে কিন্তু আমি ওটাকে চেঞ্জ করতে পারবো, ফর এক্সাম্পল। And then audit trials, track who modified data when. যা অনেকেই চেঞ্জ করেছে, এবার কে কখন কি চেঞ্জ করেছে তুমি দেখতে পারো এটা। মাইক্রোসফট শেয়ার পয়েন্ট এটা খুব ভালো হয়। তাহলে এটা বায়োলজিক্যাল রিসার্চেতে কিসে লাগে? জিনোমিক্স, ইকোলজি, কোলাবোরেটিভ ওয়ার্ক। সো এই রিলেশনাল ডেটাবেসেস দে প্রোভাইড দ্য ফাউন্ডেশন ফর মডার্ন বায়োলজিক্যাল রিসার্চ। They enable efficient data management, accurate analysis and seamless collaboration across studies.